Hello, friends. I'm trying to get it loaded up on my laptop. I can't see anything, so hold on. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. There we go. Now I can see. Okay. Brittany, what are you doing here? Aren't you live on TikTok right now? I just saw you were live. How's everybody doing? Ugh. I wore this sweatshirt. This is the third day in a row that I've thrown this sweatshirt on. It's fucking cold. And it was in the dirty laundry on top of my washing machine. So you saw it in Tuesday's video. I went and put it on last night during a coaching call because I was cold. And then I put it back on now. Seriously? She always barks. It's so annoying. Okay. Because you want to know what she's barking at? My son. And then when she sees it's him, then she gets happy. Does that make sense? Doesn't make sense. Just cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Let's see. You're in a Halloween costume? Why? Why are you in a Halloween costume right now? That is hilarious. I didn't have a video ready for today. So I'm like, I'll just go fucking live. Fuck it. Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay, wait. There we go. Okay. All right. Hi, Kim. How do you stay motivated during opposites? Because I know it's opposites. And it's not that I always stay motivated. I still have my days where I'm triggered. I'll cry. I'll be upset by what my 3D is doing, and then I have to snap, crackle, pop my ass eventually back together. But it don't ever think that I'm instantly able to shut the 3D down perfectly. No one is. Yeah, I definitely still will have my emotional moments for sure. But what I will say is that when I'm having those moments, there is always a feeling in the background that, like, I know what's happening. I know why that's here. I know what this is doing. I might not like it, but I know it. I know why it's here. Do you see what I'm saying? So I am at a place where I can do that, but that does not mean in any way, shape, or form that I don't emotionally react. That's just a part of being a human, right? So no one, that's why I always say you don't have to be perfect. That's not expected. Perfection is never expected, nor is it necessary to manifest. We were given emotions for a reason. So have your emotions. So when the opposites are here, usually I know right away why, because you remember, I am someone who pays more attention to the state I am in to anything else. And it usually will align with what state I'm currently embodying. And in some sick, twisted way, I guess there's a comfort there because I know why it's here. Doesn't mean I like it, and doesn't mean I don't react to it. But yeah, that's how I deal with it. Lakey23, thank you very much. Kim, SP showed up unfavorably. I've been so on it, in such a good state. Damn the 3D. Well, don't instantly, listen, let me say it like this. And this is kind of gonna jump off what I was just saying. That, listen, when we are reacting to our 3D, you know in those moments, that's when you want to actually start getting back into your state. Start trusting that state. And if you can't, then you're not in the most beneficial state, truthfully. And, in my experience, there is some semblance of a lag time between you being in a state and then the 3D catching up. There's some semblance of a lag. So if I were you, I would be telling yourself that. I wouldn't be panicking. I would, if it's really, really bothering you and you're not understanding why this is happening, this is when you want to kind of start looking back in your past. Where were you before you started getting on it and getting in a state? Where was your mindset? It probably lines up to what you're experiencing. Listen, and even I have my moments of being guilty of this. When we see that damn 3D, we instantly think that that's it, failure, it didn't work, something shitty's happening, my manifestation has failed. No, we have to remember to identify things as our bridge of incidents and nothing more than that. So don't panic over it. Get back into a more beneficial state. Work your way back there, right? Your 3D will reflect that state very, very shortly. So don't panic. But however SP is showing up, it is worth you taking a look at, okay, why are you being triggered by it? What is your SP doing? Because remember, with manifestation, there is never anything to change but self. So there is something within us. That's why it's here, right? Sometimes I hate owning that, but it's the truth. So what within your own self-concept is, looking you in the face in the 3D right now and address that. Okay? But it's not the end of the world. And don't think that, right? Just get back on your game, go back to your state, work your way back there. Trust in the I amness, and everything's going to be okay. Honestly. Hawkeyes, member for 9 months. Thank you very much. Past few days, I've been feeling icky and negative for no apparent reason. Just reminding myself to be gentle with myself, and it's okay. Good. Probably some menopause bullshit. The beauty of being old. Sexy bitch. LOL. Listen. There's a very good chance that you might be you're reaching or you've reached a threshold of a state. And that's when the uncomfortableness starts coming in, because our ego will always want to drag us back to our old autopilot, the old dwelling state. So when we start hitting like a ceiling, we'll call it the ceiling, the threshold of a state, meaning you have felt pretty good, things were feeling good, you were getting movement in the 3D, and you were getting movement in the 3D. Let's not forget about the concert, right? So it's probably your ego trying to pull you back, hence the uncomfortableness. And if I were you, I would be diving deep back into myself, working my way back, because you're probably about to shift to a more beneficial state, right? You're probably on to the next state. I kind of look, there are infinite states, but I just have that. When I say the word state to you guys, I envision like a staircase, an endless staircase. And the idea is to keep going up those staircases, right? And each step up is a better state. Each one is, right? It gets better and better and better. But you're going to experience the same things over and over again in each state. But what I recommend is, remember, people talking outside. Loud as fuck outside. Back in the day here in this community, like the main word was purge. Or that you're just going through a purge. Listen, we need to never address purge ever again. We should never have to automatically assume there's going to be a purge. That's stupid. That's wishing it to manifest in our existence. We don't want that. We can choose to not have a purge, right? Me saying that is, you might have uncomfortable moments on your manifestation evolvement, but let's not automatically say, oh, okay, here's a purge. It's a purge. No, that's us looking and planning for a shitty time to have to show up in our 3D. And that's just not true. And not every goddamn manifestation equals a shitty time, an icky feeling, uncomfortableness. No, some manifestations you think of once, they pop up the next day. No pain involved, no purge. See what I'm saying? That's all limited shit. I really feel that if anything makes you feel constricted, then don't accept it as a belief for you. And you have that power to do that, right? It's the law of assumption. It's not the law of assumption per coach. It's a law of assumption per individual. You get to make your own rules. You get to decide how things work for you, period. So, Hawkeyes, my guess, only from my own experience, that's probably exactly what's happening. And work your way back to getting into the state, because I think you are about to level up. That's what I have experienced, especially in the love category, the SP category. And that's because everybody's got a category where they feel that they probably struggle the most. SP would be mine, right? I think most people think it's the SP category. And that's because it involves another person, even though all of our manifestations involve other people. But I think it's our heart. It's our heartstrings are involved in the equation. It's not because it really is more difficult. We think it is. So it's probably just that. Holy moly, holy. Janet Carson, thank you very much. What state caused me to lose my dog? I had to have her put down a month ago. I am so damn sorry. Janet, Jesus, I am very sorry. I can't get out of the state of grief. Oh, God, I can't even imagine. I am heartbroken. I stayed with her. Well, I cannot tell you I am sorry enough. I can't even imagine that, okay? That's a day I'm never going to be ready for. I really strongly, heavily encourage you to never, ever ask yourself that kind of a question ever again for anything in that category ever again in your life. I do not support the thinking that we are the cause of other people's or other animals passing. I do not partake in that. You should never, ever blame yourself for the death of our loved ones. Ever. Ever, ever. Okay? I am heavily aware that there are coaches that have placed that level of blame on people because they've come to me. I find that inexcusable and it's disgusting. We should never do that. So please don't waste one moment from this point on of blaming yourself for the passing of your animal. Okay? Please don't. Because it's just not true. Just not true. I sincerely mean that. Please don't. You know, people pass. This is kind of like a shitty way of looking at it, but people and animals pass every day. You know, there's no way in hell that I would ever sit here and think it's my fault because this is my reality that other people are passing on. I don't partake in that belief. So I don't want you to either. I don't want you to think that way. I don't want you to beat yourself up. And I definitely don't want you to think, what state was I in that I caused this? Don't do that to yourself. Please don't. That right there is a classic example of why I cannot stomach the blame and shame mentality in this community. I cannot fucking stand it. It enrages me. Don't ever think that way. Please. Please don't. And for what it's worth, you're not the first person to come to me and ask that kind of a question. Don't blame yourself for those type of things. Please don't. Because I'm telling you comfortably, I don't. I don't want to lose family members. I don't want to lose my loved ones. I definitely don't want to lose my girl. And I'll do whatever I can on my end to prevent it. But I'm not going to blame myself if I can't stop it. Do you see what I mean? Okay? But I am so sorry that happened. I can't even imagine it. I'm sure that's painful. Be easy on yourself right now. Be easy on yourself. Master Moneyfester, thank you very much. How can I convince myself that being 10 months without SP isn't too long and he won't lose interest? 3D is showing me this right now and it's so annoying. Okay. How can you convince yourself? Well, it's like this. We should never. This is going to be one of the days where I'm going to be yelling about the nevers and don'ts. And don't do this and don't do that. I think that's kind of a live stream. Okay. Your 3D is only ever the reflection of the state you are embodying, the who you are being. So when you are in a state where you are regularly counting time, paying attention to how long it's been, you're in a state where that's going to keep perpetuating because that's what your focus is on. So it's going to keep manifesting. That's why it's our job to persist in the state of embodying the version of yourself that has a desire or in the wish fulfilled. Our job is to be there and not watch the 3D because we don't control the how. And when we try to control the how, we constrict our manifestation and we slow it down because we're just not as good at it as our 4 and 5D are, our subconscious, our universe, right? They see the big picture. We don't with our 3D eyeballs. So I would take a look at where your mind dominantly is and what state you're dominantly in before I would be concerned about the time. Because when you are in the state or embodying the version of yourself that has the desire or in the wish fulfilled, if you are there, I promise you, you don't care about time. You don't look at time. You don't worry about the 3D. It's not in your mind at all because you comfortably know that everything's taken care of. You know that manifestation is yours. You know there's nothing to worry about. So that's how you know you're not in that state. You're not there. So work your way there. What would it feel like to have your manifestation right now? What would it feel like? And as far as you worrying that SP is going to move on or forget about you, this is your reality. And I know some people struggle with the acceptance of nobody has free will. Nobody. And when you think about it, we kind of don't even have that free will either, other than to make the choice of what we want as our desire. But after that, our subconscious takes over and does all the rest, right? So, no, your SP isn't going to forget about you. Your SP isn't going to move on. That's not going to happen. You're literally right outside my windows here. It's not going to happen. We are all connected to one consciousness. All of us are. Yeah, fucking poop. We're all connected. So when you're thinking about SP's thinking about you. But the context of what you're thinking about, has the same context. Meaning, if you're sitting here worrying, SP's going to forget about me. It's been 10 months. I'm afraid it's never going to happen. I'm afraid SP's not going to want me anymore because it's been so long. What is SP thinking? What is SP thinking? She's protective. What is it? What's the matter? Let me close the doors. They're literally right outside my window. Literally right outside the window. not awkward, not uncomfortable. So no one ever has to worry about SPs forgetting about them. Never, ever, ever. We're all connected. But think about what you're thinking about. Meaning, if you're thinking about SP in the fear of losing them, the fear of them never wanting you, that's what they're thinking. That's what you're sending to them, right? Thought transmission. That's what they're sending. That's why our job is to stay in the wish fulfilled. Of course they want you. Of course they want to be with you. Of course they love you. They can't go a day without thinking about you. They're flooded with thoughts of you. So that can be what they're thinking about. See what I mean? She's totally reacting to her 3D. Totally is. But okay, so don't worry about that. But we don't want to waver. We don't want to be double-minded. Double-mindedness is what? Giving our Amazon van all sorts of yellow and red lights, right? We want to give that Amazon van the green lights, which is staying over here, staying in the mindset of having, not worrying about it, not stressing that it's not going to happen, because it is going to happen. It is. It's inevitable. It's inevitable. It's your reality. You are the I am of your reality. It's going to happen. Don't worry about it. I know it's easy for me to say, to sit here and say, oh, just don't worry about it. But don't worry about it. It's going to work. It is. But it's dependent on you and where your mind is. Okay? Thank you, Amy. Thank you very much. 214. Can you give a bitch a like? Sheesh. Let's see. Dory. Holy shit, Dory. Member for 13 months. Love you, lady. I love you too. It's been 100 years. I feel like I haven't seen you in like forever. Thank you. Alyssa Lauritzen, thank you very much. Hi, Kim. Trying to stay in the state with having my SP, but it's hard having to drop my son off with his dad, my SP, and 3P in the 3D right in my face. Yes, that would be so damn triggering. Totally understandable. But truthfully, listen, I don't run your realities. I don't control how you handle your realities or what you want to put focus on. But in that scenario, if we are just so sick and tired of dealing with 3P, especially with the kids involved and all that, the best thing is starting to be more disciplined with your mind, meaning the trying to see that the 3P is not the obstacle to you having your manifestation. The only obstacle to your manifestation is your own thinking. You know, everything is being manifested through us or projected from us. So in a fucked up way, our shitty beliefs or whatever state we were dominantly in is what created 3P, right? So if we created 3P, we can uncreate 3P by ending seeing third party as an obstacle. Dethrone their power. Nothing is outside of your thinking and your reality. Nothing has more power than you in your own reality. Nothing does. And this is why I bring up all the time that you remind yourselves of who you are in the equation. You're not just Alyssa. You're not Alyssa. You're God having a human experience through you. So you're more than just Alyssa, right? I think when people think about the phrase, I'm the God of my reality, I don't think that they really focus on what it means. It's literally the I am. You are the I am. Having a human experience, which is the concept of yourself being Alyssa. So it's not Alyssa against the world. It's not Alyssa against the 3D. It's the I am with Alyssa handling the 3D. So do you think that any scenario, any obstacle in your 3D is more powerful than God Is anything more difficult, more powerful than God? Fuck no. No third party, no any type of circumstance is too much or too difficult for God. And if you are God, right? You are the I am. And it's you having this desire of wanting your SP back, right? So you can be your happy family. Do you sincerely think that that third party, which was manifested from our shitty limiting beliefs, is more powerful than the I am within you? Fuck no. So rest in that. This is one of the things when we get to a point where we're finding it so difficult to let go of circumstances in the 3D, it's just surrendering to it. Surrendering, not letting go of the manifestation, but surrendering to fighting with the 3D. You know what the circumstance is, you know it exists, surrender to it, and just keep telling yourself every time that damn 3P pops into your mind, I don't have to worry about this anymore. I've got God, I've got the I am taking care of that. I have a desire. My job is to keep my focus on having that desire, or as me being the version of myself that has that desire. I don't have to worry about this anymore. No damn third party is going to outwin God, right? That's why we have nothing to fear. That's why manifestation works. So when you are getting triggered, remind yourself of who the fuck you are. She's not going to win in your reality. That's just not how this works. Unless you give up the fight. Unless you decide it's too difficult, that she's too much of an obstacle. That's the only way you lose, is when you give in to the circumstances. Third parties don't mean dick. And that's the truth. They don't mean dick. They're the product of you feeling not good enough, not chosen, fear of abandonment, fear of cheating, any one of those. They're a product of that and nothing more. So if you're resting in the I amness, you knowing who you are, right? If you're resting in that and you're keeping your focus on the prize, on you being that version of yourself, fucking nothing can get in the way of your manifestation. Absolutely nothing. And even when our limited human 3D minds can't make sense of how that situation is going to get any better, and we can't look at circumstances and see how they could possibly fall apart or disappear, that doesn't fucking matter, because it's not our job to figure out how that circumstance is going to go away. And wasting our time focusing on the circumstance, trying to make sense of it, or why it's even on our bridge of incidents, is waste of time and putting our focus in the wrong fucking place. It's putting our focus in the place of shit we don't want. Why would we ever want to keep putting the focus on the things that make us unhappy, the things that are stealing our joy, so that they can keep fucking manifesting and keep coming in the 3D? No, you snatch that damn wig right off that bitch and put your focus on the having of your desire, period. And just know that the I am within you is taking care of that. There's nothing more to worry about. Nothing is more powerful than the God within you, period. Okay? So that's how I expect you to deal with it, Alyssa. Okay. Awakening to love. Thank you very much. I already have it. Feels I have only... Wait. I already have it. Feels I have only in 4D while fully aware of absence in 3D. It's done deal. Will surely have it soon. Feels fake as am not yet reached that inner certainty. Help. Love you, Kim. Okay. I get that, because that's exactly how I used to feel when I first discovered manifestation. I had that same mindset. I was very, very skeptical. I really didn't believe. I loved how it sounded. I loved the difference in the law of assumption. I wanted to believe it, but I fucking didn't believe none of it. I was skeptical as fuck. I really, really was. So I'm not going to promise you that you're going to start believing and trusting well overnight. I'm not going to promise you that because it's totally dependent on you. Totally dependent on you. What I can say is if you would spend more time testing it on non-resistive things, right? Non-resistive manifestations that you don't have a heart connection to. If you would test it on that, so you could get your own undeniable proof, right? And not one or two things. I would do multiple things so you can't blow it off to coincidence. That's the only way you're ever going to really trust that it's working, because I can say it works all day long. Because if you're anything like I was, I didn't give a shit what other coaches were saying. And there really weren't any law of assumption coaches when I found the law of assumption. It was all law of attraction. There's very few people on YouTube back then. I didn't trust none of them. Until I finally found like Amanda, Amy, and I watched Roxy a little bit, and a while later, Sammy showed up. But before that, I trusted nobody. Unless I'm forgetting somebody. I don't think I'm forgetting. If I am, I must have just forgot. But for the most part, I didn't trust nobody. I thought they were just telling me all this, all lip service to get me to buy something they were selling, right? Well, the only way I was ever going to trust it was testing it myself. And I had to have undeniable proof that I couldn't blow off to coincidence. And that's the only thing that worked for me. So my advice to you is get on that, and get on that quick, so you don't have to spend time doubting what's in your 4D. What I would say is I strongly also suggest, please go read Neville Goddard books. He's the one I recommend the most. I know there are other book peeps out there, other authors out there. Great. I like Neville. If I'm going to read anything, it's going to be Neville. Go read it yourself, so you can get a little judging from that, okay? So you don't have to just take the lip service from YouTube coaches or TikTok coaches or Instagram coaches. And listen, I know you've all heard this a million damn times, that you don't have to believe your affirmations or your manifestation game to manifest. Totally the truth. Totally true. What I will tell you is, if you want an easier journey, you're going to work on getting your belief up there. You're going to work on that, or you're going to have a miserable journey, because you're going to be double-minded. And double-mindedness is not ever what we want to be. We want to break that habit. That's manifestation, is changing our internal thinking, right? Changing all of this. That's what brings manifestations. See what I'm saying? So your journey is going to be a little more pleasurable, a little less worrisome when you have some trust that it's working. So test the shit out of it. Make a damn list. And like I said, please choose things that you don't have resistance to, just so you can get a nice chunk of manifestations under your belt, so you can have the trust. Then start going on the stuff you have resistance to. Because other than that, it's lip service from all of us, right? You're going to want to prove it to yourself. That's what I give for advice for anybody who doesn't believe. And at least like on my channel, I only talk about shit if I've been able to do it. If I've been able to manifest from it. But you know me through a screen, so I get it. It's not always easy just to believe because somebody's saying it in a video. I get it, because I used to think the same way. So test it yourself. Test it yourself. Dory 60 again. Oh my God, Dory, thank you. Have a coffee on me. Dory, I fucking love you. Thank you so much. That was so nice. Jeez. Megan F, thank you very much. Hi, I don't know if you remember, my mom passed recently. I do remember. Well, my brother passed too. Jesus. I am so damn sorry. And my SP is being so distant, not here for me through both things. How the hell do I forgive him and continue to manifest feeling a lot of emotions? All right, listen, straight up. I am so sorry for the loss of your brother and your mother. That's too much all at once, you poor thing. That's too much at once. In all seriousness, my fucking condolences to you. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay. But to answer your question about SP and how SP is showing up. Now, listen, how you feel is valid. I wouldn't appreciate that type of shit either. So how you're feeling, especially during this time, how you're feeling is valid. But because I'm here to help you, I do have to keep it real. So please know that I don't mean this in a slapping the shit out of you type of way. I'm meaning it from love. Although you have a lot going on, especially losing 2 family members in such a short span of time, listen, you're in mourning. You're in mourning. Have a little grace for yourself, right? Be easy on yourself. But SPs are only ever going to show up reflecting what we are doing on the inside. So aside from you experiencing loss, aside from just you needing to take a damn break and just be, good to yourself right now, aside from that, let's pretend that's out of the equation for just a minute, okay? If there's still limiting beliefs within, they're going to project out, and that's exactly how SP is going to show up. Now, I know if you're anything like me, I'm sure that logical mind, that logical ego mind is talking to you like, well, for fuck's sake, he should have some goddamn manners. Anyway, I know, because my mind would go there too. My mind would be very resentful that he's not showing up, being supportive during this terrible time. I know that. But unfortunately, manifestation or our universe, the I am, our subconscious mind, whatever the fuck we're calling it today, doesn't give a shit about what's going on with our own circumstances. Our subconscious, our universe is only ever projecting out from the state we're embodying. And each state, because there's infinite states, have their own self-concept, their own beliefs, their own assumptions, their own manifestations, their own experiences. Each state does. So if you're in a state that is still brewing with some shitty beliefs around love, relationships, and now the story we're holding for him, he has no choice but to show up reflecting back to you exactly what state you're in. I don't want you, listen, if we had, your 2 back-to-back losses out of this equation, I would be snap, crack, and popping, okay? This is not coming from a snap, crackle, pop mentality. It isn't. And I think you should be easy on yourself right now because that's a lot of loss back to back. That's a lot. You deserve the time to be in mourning, right? So your mind is probably not thinking clearly right now anyway, because you've had 2 pretty tragic back-to-back losses, right? So don't beat yourself up because I'm just calling it out how manifestation is. But when you're ready to put your focus back on manifesting SP, try not to hold resentment against him for how he's showing up right now, because he's only reflecting your state. Okay? Try not to, because the resentment you're holding onto, and don't get me, the human in me would be fucking reacting to it too. Okay? But please put it in perspective. They only show up reflecting. So it's almost not their fault when you think about it, right? He's not wanting to show up being distant and cold and shitty during this time. And our natural response to that is to instantly think, what a fucking asshole. What an asshole. But that's old 3D logical, literal thinking. And when we decide we're going to start consciously manifesting, we have to let go of those rules. We have to let go of that thinking. And it's not always easy, especially if we are triggered by SP and if we have other emotional things going on in our life. Sometimes our thinking can be skewed. So be easy on yourself. Take a little break. And when you're ready to start zhuzhing yourself up again, don't hold it against him as best as possible. It's not worth it. And then pay attention to what state you're embodying, the who you are be, right? Who you're identifying yourself as. Listen, don't get caught, and this is for anybody. Don't get caught in the trap of thinking, well, no, I want love. I want a relationship. I know I'm ready for that. I know that's what I want to experience. So there, I'm good. Yeah, I was that person too. I didn't want to address the fact that I was in terror of being left due to my abandonment, right? I was afraid of that constantly. I was constantly through that filter watching every movement of SP, seeing if they're showing me any clues of not being nice to me or breaking my heart because of all those fears or me not feeling good enough. We all can sit here and say, okay, yep, no, I line up with that. I know I haven't felt good enough. I know I haven't felt like a priority or chosen, blah, blah, blah. But when it comes to really addressing it and seeing ourselves, interpreting our 3D, we tend to avoid that one. We tend to avoid those because we think we're working on them because we're affirming, I am chosen, I am a priority, I am loved, I am good enough. But when it's in our face and we're being triggered, most of us react instead of taking the moment and saying, okay, how this dick is showing up right now is clearly reflecting me not feeling like a priority. So I'm still seeing my 3D from that perspective. So I know I'm not in the state where I should be right now because that's still coming out. See what I'm saying? So be easy on yourself. Take the break. I am incredibly sorry for your losses. Oh my God, such back-to-back losses too. That's a lot. But when you're ready, come back and I will guide you through a live stream to get that SP showing up right. Okay? Rosalie, I want to say Boucher. Hopefully I'm correct. Rosalie Boucher. You are welcome, Megan. Hi, Kim. Appreciate you so much and can't wait to chat with you. I messaged in March. Okay, Rosalie Boucher. I look forward to it too. Angela Renee, thank you very much. In my 3D, 3P is cheating on SP and SP got wind of it. I know this because info came to me. Saw this as manifestation unfolding and leading SP to me. SP seems to still be with 3P. What is this telling me? That was a fucking UPS guy walking right by my goddamn window. What is going on today? What the fuck is going on today? I gotta read it again because I was just distracted because I clearly got a package. Okay. In my 3D, 3P is cheating on SP and SP got wind of it. I know this because info came to me. Saw this as manifestation unfolding and leading SP to me. SP seems to still be with 3P. What is this telling me? Well, I would, number one, be looking at as, okay, this is still bridge of incidents. It's still bridge of incidents. Don't be jumping off the damn bridge. We're still on bridge of incidents. What is it telling me? Okay. It can be two things. A, this could just be old shitty story fucking playing out. Old story playing out. Meaning, if you've been dominantly in another shitty state and you are just now recently getting yourself into a more preferable state, old story could still be playing out. Number two, if the 3D is showing us that SP is still with 3P, well, where did 3P come from? Meaning, was it a feeling of not a priority, not chosen, fear of relationships not being successful, fear of SP abandoning you for somebody else, feeling not good enough? It could be any one of those. So take a look at that. Take a look at what you also think directly about relationships and any story you have attached to SP. I cannot say this more strongly. Is that even a correct way to say it? Probably not. When you're manifesting anything with a specific person, all of those things we need to take a look at. What stories we're holding of that specific person, what stories we're holding about ourselves in relationships, and any limited shit beliefs we have, like not feeling good enough, not a priority. And how to know that you probably have that kind of a story going on, meaning not chosen, not wanted, not good enough. If when you first discover love with someone, those relationships start and everything's amazing, and then they start fiddling, they start getting distant, they start acting like twats, we got a story. We got a limiting belief existing, period. So take a look at those. That's my advice. And get back on it. And don't look at that 3D and think, oh my God, it's not working. It's not my manifestation unfolding now. Don't say that. Yes, it is still unfolding. I can't tell you how many people do that. Listen, I know that when circumstances, good or bad, show up in the 3D, let's say they're good. So we got a good circumstance showing up in the 3D. We get fucking excited because we think our manifestation is unfolding and coming to us. And then we get sideswiped because something goes in the other direction. So now it doesn't look like it's coming to us anymore. Yes, it still is. Yes, it still is. Yes, it's still the bridge of incidents. We do not control the bridge of incidents. We don't control how it gets to us. My advice to you, and what everybody should be doing anyway, is no matter what circumstances are happening in the 3D, you stay on the wish fulfilled. You stay over here in the wish fulfilled. Choosing to be over here in the wish fulfilled. And I know sometimes that's not fucking easy when the circumstances suck. I know that. I'm not perfect at it either. It is something I have to remind myself and redirect myself. Get over here in the wish fulfilled. Because look at it like this. Instead of seeing your manifestation game as I'm waiting for my manifestation to unfold, I'm waiting for my bridge of incidents to be over. No, I want you to look at it as from moment to moment, you are selecting the reality you choose to believe in. Meaning, when you got excited and you thought it was unfolding, you were selecting the reality that you wanted to be in, the reality where SP is yours, right? And I'm sure at some point, depending on what state we're in, because we're humans, sometimes we go back and forth, sometimes we waver. When we're wavering, we're selecting the reality of us not getting what we want. That's why we should be disciplined. Okay? That's why we should be disciplined with our minds. Right? Isn't that the goal? Is to get control up here. Is to get control. To be the boss of our own mind. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, your manifestation is still unfolding. Just because it does not look like it's leading to your manifestation, it feels like it's the opposite. No, it's still unfolding. Right? Listen, when you get that manifestation fully, when it's fully here, you'll be able to look back in 2020 hindsight and see how it all fucking made sense. Trust me. But most of the time, it does not make sense to us as it's playing out right in front of us. I can comfortably tell you that any manifestation I've ever had, and I'm talking all of them, they never made fucking sense on the way to me. Never made sense. And it would frustrate the hell out of me. And I would get triggered. I was a hot mess express. It never made sense until it showed up. And then I'm like, oh my God, yeah, that's right. That makes sense. Now I know why that happened. Everything's okay. I'll never get upset again because I'm just gonna trust from this point on. And then I didn't. See what I'm saying? It's all coming to us. No matter what it looks like in the 3D, our shit's coming. It is. It just doesn't make sense to us because we're fucking 3D limited bitches, right? That's why we got to stay in the wish fulfilled. So our 4D can handle it. It's not going to make sense to our simple minds. You know what I mean? It doesn't need to make sense to us. We are not in the 4D yet. We're still here. See what I'm saying? Okay. So everything's still okay, Angela Renee. Oh dear. It just updated. Does that mean I gotta go on the other screen? Son of a bitch. Come on. Damn it. Yep, I gotta go to the other screen. Let's see. Do you hear poop? She's talking in her sleep. Come on. Okay. Deluxe 27. Thank you very much. Hi, Kim. I'm trying to manifest to lose 60 pounds if I work out and diet is messing with the middle. Nope. Nope. Because here's why. When I first really started getting into the law of assumption, I was manifesting weight loss. I still am. And my initial 80 pounds came off with me doing nothing other than scripting it. What I discovered that I was naturally beginning to intermittent fast, but not realizing I was intermittent fasting initially. Obviously, I discovered it at some point, but it wasn't me deliberately, oh, I think I'm going to intermittent fast. No, it was I ended up intermittent fasting. So when you are manifesting weight loss, you're going to tend to start making choices, and they're probably inspired, right? Like that was for me. You're going to be inspired to take that action. See what I mean? However, if doing whatever it is with your diet and working out, if that is feeling restrictive to you, I wouldn't call it messing with the middle, but I definitely would be either scripting or affirming that it's enjoyable to you. Because I'm going to keep it real. If anything restricting me, I won't keep doing it. I'll quit. I will completely quit. So I knew I couldn't do that. I couldn't just start a diet, start working out, and then actually think I'm going to stick to it. That's why I went manifestation-wise, because I knew manifestation-wise, my subconscious is going to start changing, right? Or desire to make choices that lead to that. And I'm going to give myself an example here. Now, if you only knew how anti-running I had been, I'm 48. Running is fucking offensive to me, okay? Like in gym class, when I was in school, if we had to run, I was thinking terrible thoughts about that gym teacher, terrible thoughts. Because how dare you think I'm going to run? I'm not running. I don't run. Running is not in my... Guess who suddenly loves running? I don't know where that came. I'm 48 years old. I have hated, despised the thought of running and couldn't run very far without wanting to pass out and die immediately because I couldn't breathe. Okay? Guess who suddenly is a runner? That's manifestation. Manifestation. And by the way, Millie Mesh, that was also part of the reason why I never would even consider running, because in my past I had blown out both meniscuses at the same time. Worst period of my life, just for whatever. But I got busted knees, or at least I kept telling myself I had busted knees Suddenly I have no issues with my knees either, and I'm running. And I get pissed if there's not time in my schedule to run. I don't know who I am. I don't know who this is. I have definitely quantum jumped. Okay? I am in a different reality because this bitch likes running now. And that's craziness. It's crazy talk. But I do. But that's the rewiring, reprogramming. I hate hearing reprogramming. It's such a dumb fucking word. It's too sciencey for me, man. I don't like that. It sounds limiting. Something changed upstairs. I believe I quantum jumped. I'm a different Kim. But anyway, that's the kind of shit that will begin happening in your 3D if you are affirming, scripting, visualizing weight loss. So I can see why you're asking me is, if I decide to diet and work out, is that messing with the middle? I wouldn't look at it as messing with the middle, but if you despise doing both, and I'm not trying to tell you what to do, I am not a goddamn doctor. But if you despise it, that's not manifesting. Do you see what I'm saying? Because all right, let me word it like this. With manifestation, we don't have to take action. We will be inspired to take action. And it's not action that you're thinking, should I do this or shouldn't I do this? No, you will just want to do it. That's inspired action. And okay, so if you're manifesting the weight loss, you're going to desire to do those things. So if you don't like doing it and you don't like working out, just keep affirming. But like I said, I ain't a goddamn doctor, so don't be taking medical advice from me, okay? But I would worry more about affirming, scripting, whatever you're doing, manifestation game-wise, for the weight loss, and allow your subconscious, your universe to inspire you so that you don't. Manifestation is pleasure. Manifestation is joy. When we don't feel those feelings, it's not meant for us, meaning we're trying to force something. If we don't feel joy, pleasure, happiness, we are forcing something or trying to force something. Okay? That's why I used the me running example. What I need is somebody else in my life who's known me my entire life to verify that this bitch didn't run, okay? So you will be naturally led. You're probably going to end up loving working out. It's probably going to happen. So don't force yourself to do shit because you ain't going to stick to it. Manifest it and you'll be led to do it. Okay? Carla Fernandez, thank you very much. I saw SP had been talking with other girls. I refused to kiss him and left. Haven't talked since and he won't answer my texts. Okay. So I'm trying to make sure I understand this. Okay. You saw SP had been talking with other girls. You refused to kiss him and you left. You haven't talked to him since, and he won't answer your text. Do you see why I'm perplexed? You saw something in the 3D that you didn't like, right? Feelings are valid. I don't blame you. But you saw that in the 3D. You refused to kiss him, and you left. And now he's not responding to your texts. So you left. Right? You reacted in the 3D, you left, but you're blowing up his phone? Do you see why that's not making sense to me? No shit, he's not answering your text. No shit, he's reflecting you. He's reflecting you. Hello? Listen, I know it would not have made me very fucking happy to see my man chatting with other girls. I wouldn't like it either. Okay, but we need to address why that's even showing up in our 3D instead of attacking, storming off, and then going home and texting him, and then wondering why he's not responding. See how that's ass backwards? Why is that even showing up? What feelings, what limited thoughts are we having in regards to love and relationships, and maybe even a story you have attached to him. What is going on there? So if they're chatting with other people, right? We might as well just call it third party, even though it's not an official one third party. It doesn't matter. It feels like an obstacle. It's offensive. Why is that happening? Because there's somewhere within us we don't feel chosen. We don't feel like a priority. Maybe we don't feel good enough, right? So he's gonna reflect that back. He's gonna reflect that back. We gotta address that. But he's not responding to yours. Why are you texting him? You're the one who left mad. If I storm off and fucking leave, the last fucking thing I'm gonna do is text a bitch. There will be no conversation until that bitch texts me. You know what I'm saying? Just saying. You can't get mad, then blow up their phone. That's ineffective. That's also doing what? Poking and forcing the 3D. And does that ever actually work? Oh, you might get away with it a couple of times, but it's going to eventually backfire. It's going to eventually backfire. So don't do it. Go up here. Go up here. Do it all up here. Okay? Work on whatever it is. If it's not chosen, not good enough, not a priority. If it's any one of those, start addressing that. Start identifying with the version of yourself. Okay? The version of yourself that doesn't have to worry about things like that, because you know any man you're with is going to be loyal and loving, faithful, whatever else. Okay? Okay? But I would not text his ass again. Why? Why give him the fucking satisfaction? And remember, this is another one. To all you 3D pokers, okay? To all you 3D pokers, I don't care what comments you make, you know as well as I do. You might get away with it sometimes. You might get the results you want, but you know, and I see right through you all, you know as well as I do, it does eventually backfire on your ass and you don't get what you want in the end. That's why we don't poke the 3D. So you might have successfully manipulated it once or twice, maybe 3 or 4 times, but eventually that luck ran out because it's fucking with the 3D. We don't do that. It's fucking with a dead world. You're fucking with old thoughts. Does it make sense? No. The power's up here. The power's up here. And for what it's worth, Mr. or Mrs. 3D fucking pokers, okay? Especially y'all, the ones that wear it as a badge. Let me tell you something else. You ain't manifesting when you're manipulating 3D. You're not. You're not. And you are 1,000,000 trillion gazillion % in the wrong fucking state to actually start getting what you want. You're going to have more instances of bullshit in your 3D than actual manifestation. Listen, I don't chat shit. I chat from experience. There's a reason why our job is to stay in the wish fulfilled and get out of the 3D. Period. And before I fucking change this fucking subject, okay? Before I change that subject, do you realize that every fucking time you waste your time poking the 3D, you're handing free will over to them on a silver fucking platter, and you're letting them control you. You're letting a version of a specific person that you don't even want that version of them. You don't want a version that you got to argue with, worry about what they're doing when you're not around. That's not the version of them you want. You want the version that's showing up right, that's treating you like a king or queen, right? Or mutually loving each other and having a fulfilling, committed relationship. That's what you want. So all this fuckery in the 3D, all this manipulation in the 3D is never going to work. And I'm willing to bet you $1,000 it won't. It won't. it will always backfire. You're handing them their free will. Well, hello. Do you like giving your power away to someone that never had it to begin with? Do you like being a lap dog? It's not fun being a lap dog. You're the I am of your reality. Power's within. Never give it away. Okay? Yeah, no one likes window lickers. It's just saying. So, Carla Fernandez, get back up here. Don't text his ass again. Don't text his ass again. Be on the other end of that for a second. I don't know about you, but I know me. That, especially knowing manifestation, that if I had an argument with a specific person and they stormed off and went home and were mad at me for farting sideways, and then when they get home, or maybe the next day or the day after, they're blowing up my phone, but they were mad at me, no, I ain't fucking responding, and I'm going to let them keep doing that. How does that make sense? Oh, you quickly got over that. You obviously still want me because you're blowing up my phone. Okay? Don't do that. Go up here. I'm telling you, the more you focus up here, the quicker things are going to get better. They're going to get better. You won't have to do none of that shit. You won't have to worry about him doing nothing. Gabriella, I cannot pronounce your last name. Gabriella. I went back to old affirmations that worked for me before. Now I'll stick with them until I get exactly what I want. I feel good and calm with them. It's easy for me to trust them when they worked before. Well, that's good. That's fabulous. I'm very happy. We should always be doing what makes us most comfortable on our manifestation games. We should always do what brings us joy. We shouldn't do anything that feels forced. Because listen, if it feels forced, it's going to feel miserable. It's going to become a part-time job, and you're going to want to quit it anyway. You're going to get exhausted. So good for you. Erica Lewis, thank you very much. Depression is wild ride, but I didn't know until this year that I've had it for life. Oh, wow. I can't feel, so doctors gave me antidepressants this week. Haven't taken it. I've manifested, but now things seem quiet. Okay, Erica Lewis. So you've had depression your whole life. You went to the doctor. They gave you an antidepressant, but you're not taking it. Obviously, you know I need to say this again. I am no doctor. So I don't know what to tell you as far as, if they prescribed you a medication. You maybe want to, I don't know, should you be taking your medication? I don't know. Okay. But as far as manifestation wise, you've manifested, but now things seem quiet. Well, why do things seem quiet? How are you feeling on the inside? Where are your thoughts going? You know what I'm saying? Our 3D is always a reflection of ourselves, of where our mind's been. I hope, and I've said this before, listen, don't be so hard on yourself by telling yourself, well, I've had depression, or I have, whatever mental anything going on, so I'm going to have a difficult time manifesting. No, don't tell yourself that. You've been manifesting your entire existence anyway. Okay? So don't think that because you have some diagnosis that, number one, if you've watched me long enough, I don't like labels. I don't want anybody to put a label on me, right? Because then your mind starts rolling and you start identifying with that label. Unless having that label has opened your eyes, it brings comfort to you, and perhaps the medication you're being prescribed makes you feel better, then that's a damn good thing. But I'm not a doctor. I can't tell you whether to take it or not, okay? Haven't really had thoughts. I will take the meds. I just haven't Taking them yet? I'm researching it. Ah, got it. Gotcha. Well, when things are quiet in the 3D, first of all, that's better than things going shitty in the 3D. Yes. But always take a look at where your mind is. What are you thinking? How are you feeling? Who are you identifying yourself as, right? Because 3D is always a reflection. So I would not in any way, shape, or form start thinking something's wrong because the 3D is quiet. No. Quiet's better than shitty. Yeah. I would just be taking a look. How do I feel? Who am I today? Am I the version of Kim that gets whatever the hell she wants? Or am I the version of Kim that questions and worries and wonders where my shit is? So who are we being? And I'm sure I'd be able to identify what version you are today. And if it's not the version of you getting what you want, you're going to want to walk back there. Okay? Vincent Wall, thank you very much. Got a feeling of anxious expecting the other night. Like the feeling of being excited about something exciting about to happen. It lasted a moment or two, but then lost the feeling. Isn't that living in the end? Okay, good question. Yes and no. Living in the end will feel different to each individual. For me, depending on what manifestation I'm getting in the end for, right? It might feel different. So in the past, anything manifestation regarding SP, I would get little happy butterfly feelings thinking about being that version of myself. But eventually, through the repetition of getting into that state, those happy butterflies would kind of dull out and just be a natural, neutral feeling, which for me, that's what I want to feel. Natural and neutral. I get excited when I get the happy butterflies because I know I hit the wish fulfilled, but I want that natural, neutral feeling because when you have your manifestation, when it's here and it's just yours, meaning it's finally an assumption, the assumption's hardened into fact. It's happening. It's just a normal part of your life. You're not always going to be in the happy butterfly zone. You're going to be in the natural and normal zone, meaning say you want to be married to your SP. So maybe the first few times that you get into that state, you get the happy butterflies, but eventually we want that to feel natural and normal, because once you're married to your person 3 months down the road, you're going to just expect, that's my normal life. That's my wife, or that's my husband. Normal. Of course I'm living my dream life because I'm married to my SP, but this is a normal part of my life. So you want the wish fulfilled to feel normal and natural. So it's a good thing. It's definitely a good thing. But keep going at it. Visit the wish fulfilled as often as possible, right? Because we want that to be natural, neutral, natural. You know what I'm saying? But that's a good thing. Sarah Pronio, thank you very much. Everyone remember to please like the live. Thank you so much, Sarah. 260 people. Come on. Show some love. Damn. It's the only thing I ask for is a fucking like. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Sarah. Carla Killian, thank you very much. You need to revise a fight with SP. Oh, no, love you. I'm like, what? Love you. Need to revise a fight with SP. We are BFFs. Never a romantic relationship. What's my best way to do that and keep boundaries? He said something really triggering. Thank you. Okay. We are BFFs. Never a romantic relationship. What's my best way to do that? Okay. So there's a couple things you can do. You can go all the way back to the fight and revise that the fight never even occurred. You can do that. Or you can just go back to the moment he said something that triggered you and revise that he never said that. So depending on, I love to script my revisions. It's not the only way you can revise. You can just do it when the memory comes in your mind. You can do, visualization. You can go back to the actual moment, visualize that memory or that moment and go back to the argument and either go like to the moment before the argument, so the argument never started, or get to the place where he said what he said and have him say something differently to you. So you can either just write that down or you can visualize it. My advice, if you're writing it, is you're going to want to reread that several times a day so it becomes the dominant memory. If you're not going to write it down, it's the same idea when you're visualizing the revision. You want to be sure that anytime you think of it, the old memory, that you're redirecting it to the new revised version of events. And then when you think about him or that night, when the new revised version of events is what you think of first, you will know that that's now dominant. Then sit, relax, and allow the 3D to catch up, and it will. And it will change the version of events for SP as well. Some people in the community, I've seen it in comments, and that's why I'm saying it, they are misinformed and believe that all it does is revise your reaction to the memory. That is not true. It revises the experience, the moment, for everyone involved. Everyone involved. And I've seen the comments where you say, Neville never said that. I am sorry. You will need to go back and read Neville, his books, and his lectures from his start date to his end date. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Revising a memory is absolutely no different than affirming or getting in the wish fulfilled for the forward or future. It is no different. Okay? Just making that very clear, because I always get a comment on it. So, yes, it does. It changes it for all. All. And then the 3D will catch up to the new memory. That's why the 3D catches up and changes to the fucking memory, because it's revised for all. Not just the memory for the person, for everyone. All right? Okay. On that note, I have to go. So, anybody sent super chats? I'll make a video. I will answer your super chat questions. I have a coaching call, so I have to go now. And I have to send the link. So, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Depending on, I feel like I have an open spot tomorrow, so I will maybe be going live again tomorrow if I don't get a video up. Okay? And I'm trying to think, is there anything else? Am I forgetting anything? Super chats, they will be answered in a video. I think that's it for now. Okay? I'll see y'all tomorrow. Be good. Be good. Okay? Love you all. Be good. This was a good live. A little sassy, but good.